The release of the Auscycling History and Heritage Committee's charter has prompted the existing state and heritage committees to ask how they fit into the new centralised structure. After talks with the National History and Heritage Committee Chair, Matthew Keenan, the Victorian and New South Wales committees met in Melbourne on the 24th of June 2022 to discuss their future under the new national Auscycling structure. Matthew Keenan was eager to get the states together and have long-time Victorian Heritage Committee Chair Ray Bowles explain his activities and processes. The attached is a segment from the Melbourne meeting where Ray Bowles explains the Victorian Committee's archive and catalogue system.
Well, we've got 32 categories of information in the archive.
Yeah.
So everything that comes in is assessed and it goes into one of those 32 categories. And then it puts into a catalogue after that.
Yeah, and what would an example of those categories be?
Well, administrative documents, for example, covers all your paperwork, but also correspondence is separate. Then you've got things like trophies, sashes, all those sorts of things, and more material things.
Yeah.
Sort of listed in there, so banners, books, a lot of books there, magazines, it's endless.
So have you got a complete collection of magazines?
Pretty well,
Yeah.
Was it you? I said Australian Cyclist is the Bible of information.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
And we've got every copy, so...
Have you?
Yeah.
And where do you keep that stuff?
Well, the new archive type material is a cage underneath the stand. And I call it that new archive because it is archive standard. It's in archive standard boxes.
Yeah.
And archive standard wallets inside the boxes, which I'll give you the contact for those. That's only a limited number of mainly the magazines, like Australian Cyclist, for example, we would go to regularly. Yeah. But the rest of the moment is in cardboard boxes in a container of all things, which is a great pity.
The meeting also discussed the Auscycling History and Heritage Charter and was keen to hear the thoughts of the National Committee on the scope of their role. In particular, to issues such as 3.2.1, including the collection and preservation of Australian cycling history, including each of the individual states and territory. The meeting also considered future direction and specifically a need for an online presence, plus the benefits of increased collaboration between the state's history and heritage committees was on display, with Victorian History and Heritage assisting New South Wales Heritage Committee in an investigation into the birth of the New South Wales Cycling Union. Ray Bowles organising entry into a very highly regarded and exclusive private bicycle collection. With the investigation advancing, the assistance was greatly appreciated, with a presentation on the findings due in September 2022. But of course, great interest was shown at the meeting in the historic treasures the Victorian History and Heritage Committee has collected, which included a decorative handkerchief presented to Sir Hubert Opperman at the 1931 Tour de France, which the team of Nicholson, Thomas, Fatty Lamb and Opperman raced in.
That's beautiful artwork in that as well, isn't it?
Your four Aussies are there.
So how would you save that? That must be in a frame or something somewhere, is it? Or
well, I've got it mounted between two bits of board at the moment, and keeping it flat sort of thing. Yeah.
That's a beautiful looking. That's a treasure, an Australian treasure. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
First world champion.
Yeah, and that is a genuine photo. We got a telephone call from a tyre company saying we're moving premises and we're getting rid of everything out of the offices. And there's this big stand of cycling. Would you be interested? Oh, yeah. So we front up, and that is 1.6 metres. Wow. Wooden case, glass front cover, and 1905 championships and Warrnambool somewhere too.
Warrnambool.
That's Snowy Munro racing the train. Now that is actually a big poster, which is at least 1 metre by 1 metre. It's bigger than that.
Yeah.
And in terrible condition. It's been folded and stuck up with sticky tape and cut and everything. It's a real mess, but I photograph it, of course, and restore that so that it at least looks good there. And some of the medals, Ronnie Bates' world medals.
Wow. Who's that?
Ron Mainch.
Ah, jeez. They're beautiful medals, aren't they?
Mm. You know, this is odd one like Russell Mockridge's shoes.
Wow.
Melbourne Cup does still run, but it's not the same bike race.
Right, but they don't give that trophy out?
No. Billy Guyot's card, which has been punched when he goes into the track. Admission card. Oh, there's many trophies, of course, but they're two of the nicer ones.
Oh, it's a Golden to Sydney. Whose is that?
From Strong.
Oh, is it?
Mm.
That's a beautiful looking trophy.
Mm.
So you actually have that?
Yeah. And that's another good one here. We've got 200 odd photos of the MCG around the 1800s.
I've seen these.
Well, I've restored them. Yeah, we're lucky to have 200 photos there.
200
for that era. Yeah.
Wow. And that's
a bit of a selection of the medals. Yeah.
Australian Road Championships, 1935.
It's a beautiful medal, that one,
isn't it?
Yeah.
Warrnambool Road Race. Geez, the Warrnambool's got some great stuff.
Mm.
I wonder who won that. 1935. I have to look it up in.
Chris Wheeler.
Ah. Century.
Sydney to Melbourne. Yeah.
When's that? What year's that? 30. That was. That could have been. Oppie won that. They got a sash. Victorian Amateur Union.
1917. So that was the start of.
Yeah, that's in the war.
Yeah. And it's in fabulous condition.
Yes. Now known as the club's team. Oh, this is the team's time trial.
Mm.
And what did you reckon this is the first one?
Well, VOCU was only started the year before.
Ah.
So it's either the first or second, yeah.
Wow. So that's your archive.
That's the start of the real archive,
yeah.
That's where your Australian Cyclist magazine is. So their archive standard boxes. The books go into a wallet inside, which is also archive standard material. So. Yeah. But you'll see they've got a hole in them.
Yeah.
Because they're supposed to be in a climate-controlled room.
Yeah.
And therefore the climate is the same inside the boxes as it is out in the room.
Ah.
That's the idea of the holes there.
Yeah.
But it's a long way from that with us at the moment, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I do apologise that this video has been quickly pulled together from audio and pictures never intended to create a presentation such as this. But the meeting of the Victorian and New South Wales Heritage Committees covered a lot of ground without a presence of the National H&H Committee. So it's hoped this video can inform the National Committee and Auscycling executive and staff of what was achieved in the meeting.